I hit a good drive left of the green, but I'm chipping on. I do not hit a great chip. I run it like 15, 18 feet past. It's a right to left putt. We make that. That's 4 birdies in a row, Brian.
4 birdies in a row.
So then we get to our least favorite tee shot on the course, and I'm suddenly 3 under par. And you gave me a little pep talk. You were like, hey, we're not guarding against anything. Do what you should do, kind of thing. So I pulled driver. I hit a good driver. I hit a great 2-iron right up to the front of the green. Not a great chip shot. I left it like, I don't know, 18 feet short. I called you in for a read. We discussed it quite a bit. And
Hey, welcome to the Back Chatter Podcast. I'm your host, Bryan, joined, as always, by my co-host, a man who's going to be shocked to learn what one of my favorite candy bars is right now.
Three Musketeers. Ooh, it's
a Charleston Chew.
I love Charleston Chew.
Well, love
Charleston Chew.
It's rare that you meet somebody who shares a love for the Charleston Chew.
Yeah, my family went through a Charleston Chew phase. And like, I know you have. You've eaten them frozen, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's really hard to decide like which is better. It's really difficult. If you were gifted a Charleston Chew, you're like, do I eat this now, this soft, chewy goodness, or do I freeze it and break my teeth a little bit later and have it be something it's so good frozen.
Yeah, I mean, it's not if I'm gifted a Charleston Chew, it's when I was for Christmas, when Erica bought me a ginormous bag of these size. And I just put a huge handful into the freezer and then kept the rest in the cupboard, and I have the option of eat.
Could you possibly, next time you come, if you have a ginormous bag, could you just throw a couple Charleston Chews in the bag for me?
I could.
Just a couple, nothing crazy. I'm not asking for, half your Charleston Chews. I would never, but I'm glad we know about this now. I didn't realize we shared this love.
Have you ever ventured into the strawberry Charleston Chew?
I have. No, thank you.
I don't mind it. I prefer the original vanilla, but
yeah, it just doesn't. I'm not a huge strawberry guy anyway. Although weirdly, I actually said this to you recently, in the bad candy category, the bad candy category, like it's highlighted by root beer barrels. And,
sure. Yeah.
And maybe runts. Just bad candies that you see in like red machines. The individually wrapped strawberry candies with the little gooey stuff inside.
Yeah.
That does something for me. I don't know what it is. I could eat 2 pounds of those over a day and I'd be okay. Okay. Seriously, if we're talking about candy, I didn't realize we were doing this. Did not realize this should be a Cold Cuts Hot Takes episode. I don't know why this is on Bag Chatter. But
we'll get to the golf in a second, folks.
Have you eaten any freeze-dried candy?
You have touted this to me in the past month. I saw some on the New Jersey Turnpike in a rest stop, and I pointed it to Erica and I said, Adam has been saying freeze-dried candy is amazing, but this small bag is $9.99, and I'm not buying it.
No, it's expensive.
But I still haven't had it. You
can go on TikTok and buy like a bucket of freeze-dried Skittles for like $14 or something, but it's like a pound and a half. So like it's a good amount. I'm not joking. It's the most dangerous thing I've ever encountered, where it's like, I bought a pound and a half thing thinking like, if I bought a big bag of Skittles, I could leave a big bag of Skittles in my house for months. Right.
Sure.
and just have 3-4 Skittles here and there. It's just like something you pop in your mouth. Right. These Skittles, it's straight sugar. So it's literally addictive. And I couldn't stop eating these. I ate a dangerous amount of Skittles probably at one point. And they are so good. They're so good.
Is it like the consistency of like a Captain Crunch Crunchberry?
Yes, it's cereal. It's like cereal that tastes like Skittle.
Okay.
It's so good. Something about the Skittle flavor, just without the chewiness, just like crunch them up, and it's like it feels like a little puff I could eat 1,000 of them today.
On a related note, Adam's diet has not been going well.
It has not gone well. No, I'm still, so I've plateaued. Our move has plateaued my weight loss. I should. So I was this morning 204, which is still my low.
Okay.
But I haven't gone crazy. I'm going on runs. But like just the complete strictness of workout and diet has plateaued a little bit, but I have not given up on it. And we're gonna plod forward. I'm rounding a corner, and we're getting back to it. And I hit the pause button is what I did. I just hit the pause button, didn't back up, hit the pause button. We're gonna go back. We're gonna get back to it.
You're over 30 pounds lost since the beginning of the year, correct?
Yeah, 34
pounds lost. You were on popcorn a little bit there. You're off the popcorn now.
Yep, I had one Skittle up, Skittle regression. Skittle regression. You understand?
Regression. Yeah, I love that band. All right, we're going to talk about some golf today. We actually have 3 different golf segments to talk about today. I'm most excited about the first one because it was a team event, and also because it is brought to you by Expert Tree Service and Science.
Oh my gosh! Question: Do they service the greater Minnesota area?
Heck yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what defines the greater Minnesota area, but I know they service it.
I'd say probably all of Minnesota and western Michigan.
Now, I know they service that area, but do you think they also science that area?
No, I don't believe in science. So that's why. Screw you, Pfizer. I don't believe in science.
Adam, we talked about not letting some of these views onto the Back Chatter podcast.
Okay, gotcha. I am unvaccinated, Brian. Just so you know. Just wanted to let you know proudly.
No,
this is pure blood where I come from.
Stop increasing my editing workload, Adam. Oh man. No, so excited that Expert Tree Service and Science is a sponsor of the Rumswinga series, and we were finally able to enter our first Rumswinga event. It was a little bit of a rainy Saturday morning. We made the trip to Overlook Golf Course, which you had never played before, to play in a 2-man scramble. And we did get a little bit of audio from on the course. I may splice a little bit in. But as I teased at the end of last week's episode, it did not start off good for us. Did not start off the way we wanted. You start off at Overlook on a par 5.
A short par 5, I'd say.
Yeah. And in true Adam fashion, the first hole was not a good one. You've been getting off to slow starts all year. We had an okay drive, but we missed the green with our second. We had to go with your approach, which was less horrible than mine. And then our chip shot onto the green. Yours was good until it wasn't. I thought yours was going to settle to like 3 feet.
Yeah, I still would say it was fine, Brian, honestly. So a little hurtful that you'd say it wasn't. But I had a pretty good elevated pitch shot, something you love to do. You love to elevate your pitch shots.
The old Bryan couldn't do it at all. New Bryan is slowly getting there.
That's right. So threw it up in the air a little bit, thought it was going to settle perfect, and it ran 6 feet by?
Yeah.
And we then both missed the 6-footer up the hill for birdie. Made par on this short par.
Oh, it's such a frustrating par I want.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to get over and pass the par.
Okay, please. Please do.
It's a short par 5, It's like, it's not just because of the missed putt. It's like, that's what you get. That's what you got to brag.
Here's what I remember about the day. I remember a bunch of things about the day, but one of the things I remember about the day is, so we missed that, and then on 2, we missed maybe a 10-footer for birdie.
Yeah.
And we're driving to hole 3, and you got mad at me. You got mad at me a little bit because I said, I think we just lost the tournament. Is what I said.
You did.
Those 2 putts through 2. 10-footers. That's what we want. Yeah.
They're not all going to fall, so just get the misses out of the way, I guess.
Is that how that works? I don't think that's how it works.
Well, if you tell yourself that, you can eventually you start believing.
I've heard it said that you can't win the 31st 2-man scramble in the first 3 holes, but you could certainly lose it. We've not done that. It's debatable. I think it's such a terrible attitude. It's so bad. It really is.
It's a joke. It was a joke, first of all.
It is not a joke. You truly believe that.
There is, of course, a chance that we finish, a one shot out.
So why play? Why play? In the parking lot, I could have said, there's a chance we're going to miss a putt.
Oh, no, I'm playing, Brian. We could also shoot 10 under the rest of the way.
It is incredible.
It's called being tenacious.
Being tenacious about the past. I am tenacious about our past mistakes.
No, it's not that. I'm here, Brian. I'm locked in. You think I'm not locked in?
I don't know.
Are you saying I'm not locked in?
You're locked into the past.
No, I'm not. I haven't talked about it. I haven't talked about it since you brought it up. I mean, listen, I'm the one who's like, hey, we could birdie the next 15. That's totally possible.
I like that. Talk better.
Listen, I don't want to spoil the ending, but so we missed those 2 putts that we should have made one of, and man, we were so close on both of them. I mean, we both hit lips on both of them, I think. So there were at least 3 lips hit there,
Mm-hmm.
and then we made a bogey near the turn.
Yeah, hole 7.
And so suddenly we were like, what were we, even par through 7?
Even par through 7. Yeah, we had picked up one birdie on the 4th hole, short par 4. You hit a great drive, and we both hit really nice short approaches. Mine was to like 12 feet. Yours was to like 2 feet. And yeah, that was the first bird. But then we bogeyed 7 and got to even. We're not in a good place. But going back to your comment there at hole 3,
Mm-hmm.
What is the point of that comment in that moment?
Because
how is that helpful? How is that additive to the experience? To be like, hey, what just happened? That's probably going to be the difference. We probably just screwed ourselves, but we still got 16 holes to play. So yeah, let's have
I
some
would
fun.
understand your point if I wasn't gonna fight. Okay, if it wasn't time to grind, if it wasn't grind season.
Yeah,
because it's always grind season. I'm always grinding. I always be grinding.
Mm-hmm.
And so
that's what I say about Adam. He always be grinding.
He always be grinding. And so I always be grinding, and I grind as hard or harder than you, Brian. And in the moment, I still am aware of realities. And so when we miss 2 short putts at birdie in a 2-man scramble, my brain says, hey, we might have just lost the tournament. Does that mean I'm going to quit now? No, of course it doesn't mean I'm going to quit. Does it mean we might have just lost the tournament? Yeah, it means that. And because you're my friend, because you're someone I trust and I say my thoughts to,
mm-hmm.
I say what I think. So it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter whether or not it's helpful, honestly. It's just truth. It's just truth, and I share truth with you. I'm not trying to filter my thoughts through some what's encouraging right now bubble. I'm just like, hey, there's a chance we lost the tournament with those 2 putts.
I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to go watch the 1997 movie Liar Liar starring Jim Carrey. And I want you to see how that works out for him. Yeah. Just because a thought is in your head, just because a thought comes into your head doesn't mean you need to say it. That whole, hey, if it's true, so I should be able to say whatever I want.
That's not what I mean. I stand by. Hey, there's a reality. We're looking at it, and it's like, hey, those are the things where it's like, okay, we have to be able to say that. We have to be able to say the truth and then say, yeah, you're right. I should have phrased it differently. I shouldn't have said we may have lost the tournament right there.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
I have no problem with what I said. If you said it, I would have been like, yeah, I know. It's so annoying. Now we got to go. Now we got to really go. Because what I should have said is now we got to really go.
Yes.
But you hate that too. So if I say we got to birdie this, if you say we got to birdie this hole, you just want to be completely passive to everything, and so I can't acknowledge any realities, whether they be the disaster that preceded or the now pressure on the future holes because of the disaster that preceded. If I acknowledge it in any way, I'm being a discouraging teammate.
It's true that I just want encouragement, and nuance matters. And if you would have been like, well, that was not the start we wanted, but we're not out of this. Let's go. Let's keep grinding. That I'll respond to.
I think I do that too. I think, hey, we got a lot of holes left. I say, we got a lot of holes left. I say that all the time. I say, hey, we can at any I think I said twice during that round. I go, hey, literally at any point we can go on a birdie run.
Yeah.
I'm saying, hey, that just because the first two didn't happen, we can go on a birdie run at any time.
Yeah, you have many encouraging moments. I'm not saying you're Debbie Downer on the course. That just in that one moment, I was like, really now? And I got you to admit that, hey, maybe I shouldn't have worded it that way. So
only because
let's move on.
Because you're a wuss about this.
I'm not a wuss. I just want to be out there having a good time. All right, we went on for another few minutes, but I'm going to spare you from the rest of the bickering so we can get back to the golf. So after 7 holes, we were even. 7th hole, that was pretty annoying. I feel like that was sort of a rallying point for us, though. Coming off that 7th hole, the 8th hole is a short par 4. We were both a little annoyed because your drive was great, was in the fairway, and we were blocked out by a tree.
Yeah, an overhanging tree.
It would have been great to have Tony and some of his crew there as a sponsor if we could have called them out to just remove a couple of trees when needed. This tree needs to go. A tree that overhangs the fairway, not a huge fan of.
Or your Minnesotan yard.
That's good. Your greater Minnesotan yard.
Yeah, that's so true. So either one.
We did put that approach on the green, and your putt missed, but showed me a good line. And I don't know if you remember, but I barely missed.
Like not even a revolution short.
Yeah.
Correct? It was right in the heart.
It's like a 35-footer and just missed. But I felt like that there was a spark there of something. Because then on the 9th hole, we used my drive. We used your approach on the green on this long par 4. Had like 40 feet. We both looked at it together. We disagreed a little bit about the read. You kind of took my advice, hit the putt. It ended up being more like your read than mine. But I took the information, and yeah, I think it was 40, 45 feet.
It was long.
Dead in the heart, gets us a birdie at the turn, gets us to -1.
Yeah, it's weird that my read was right because your feet don't lie. You got Shakira-like feet.
Yeah, in this case, they did.
Except in this case.
I was not happy with them. We go to the par 4 10th and make another birdie.
Mm-hmm. Sure, why not?
Just like that, we're 2 under. We go to the par 4 11th, which is a very short, drivable par 4 right along the back edge of the property. I don't remember what it was playing on the card. Something like...
I think it was like 280. It was
270, 280.
Enough that I was worried about driver.
Did you end up hitting driver there?
Yes.
And you hit a butte, landed on the green. We hoped it was going to hold the green, but it did not. We got up there and it was, maybe 1 or 2 paces just into the back rough. Yeah. You hit a mediocre pitch shot and then said, please do better than that.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, not encouraging enough. My bad. My bad.
In that case, it was warranted. And also not heated. I hit a even worse pitch shot, much to my chagrin. And then while we were waiting to try to make our, I don't know, what was that, like a 12, 15 footer that we had left for birdie, the guys who were playing with poured in a like 50-foot eagle putt.
Yeah.
So that was like, oh, okay. Because we kind of, we knew our handicaps were similar. The one guy, Josh, I know from church, he's a great guy. I'm like, obviously we want to win this thing, but would love to beat these guys as well.
He's a great guy. That's not what you said in the cart at all. That is weird. You said a lot of bad stuff about Josh. That's strange.
I told you that I had turned the mics off for that. We don't.
Oh, no, they were off at the time. I'm just repeating now what you said when the mics were off.
Unbelievable. I got more editing to do now. Spoiler alert. you hit the birdie putt despite the bad pitch. And so that was nice. You had a natural bird on that hole. That got us to 3 under. And now we're starting to feel a little bit of momentum. Go to hole 12, which is a par 3. You hit one of your worst tee shots of the day.
Pulled it way left.
Pulled an iron way left. I had a 4-iron in hand, which I have not been hitting very well, and hit one of my best of the day, which just barely held the green and gave us, 18 feet for birdie, maybe?
Yeah. Best of the day, just barely held the green, is what you just said out loud. No, it was good, though. It was good. It was a good shot. It was a good shot. And then you, best of the day, poured it right in the heart. Poured that thing in the heart. And I was surprised. I didn't think we were making that putt. It was an uphill putt. It was like sort of weird. I didn't think we were making it. I missed, kind of missed aggressively, if I remember right. Where it's what I mean by that is like, I wasn't particularly close. I got it up. It ran by. It was 6 inches right of it or something. And then you just poured it in. Do it. Yes. Yeah, good ball. Huge, Brian. That's huge. Here's your ball. Wow. And I'm like, oh, we have a little thing. We have a little thing happening here, don't we?
Heck yeah. Got us to 4 under. Do you remember where we were about on the leaderboard at that point when we got to 4 under?
I believe we were only like 1 or 2 back.
Yeah.
Suddenly. So suddenly, and we had done it. So after being even on 7, we had done it so fast. We didn't battle to 4 under. We just shot to 4 under in 4 or 5 holes. And it was like, oh, we've got 6 holes to play. We can make a run here, you know?
Yeah. There were 39 teams total in this. And they did separate us into flights, which really would only come into play with some of the prizes that they gave out at the end. But I think at that point we were in the top 10, maybe even the top 5.
Oh, we were definitely in the top 5 at that point. I think the leader was 5 under at that point, and we were 4 under, is what I believe. But it may have been 6 under.
So we go to 13, which is a par 4. Have a good drive to use. Both of us hit the green. Yours was a little bit closer and above the hole, but we had a pretty good look. It was, between 15 and 20 feet. And you gave it a good run, and I hit pretty crappy putts, pretty annoyed. I think it barely got to the hole, but never had a chance. And the dream of 5 birdies.
You shouted at me. You said if you'd been more encouraging back on hole 2, I would have made that putt. And it was really embarrassing in front of Josh, who you were already telling me was a bad guy. And so it was rough.
Well, I had told Josh beforehand, I said, I'm getting a little fed up with Adam. If I have an outburst, just ignore
give me grace. Give me grace.
Yeah. And he was good about it. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, made par there. 14 is a long par 4 going back up the hill. Our best approach was one that actually missed the green long, but you bailed us out again. Hit a pretty good short little chip shot onto the green, and then hit like an 8-footer, 6-footer, and we saved par there. So yeah, you bailed us out on 14 with a nice pitch shot. You hit the putt, kept us at 4 under, going to a par 5. We got 4 holes left. We know that we've got to make a move here. We're at 4 under. I feel like we were, at that point, did we know that we probably needed to get to like 7 maybe?
Yeah, I think 7 was the number in our head. It was the number in my head. I asked permission to tell you that, hey, we need to birdie this short par 5.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for that permission because I know you're very sensitive about this stuff. You need constant encouragement at all times. And so I said, hey, can I just say, if we're going to have a chance to win this tournament, we need to birdie this par 5.
To be clear, he didn't ask my permission. He went to Josh, who we're playing with, and said, do I have permission to talk to Bryan about what we need?
Right. He was the intermediary. Great guy. Great guy. And so serves as a wonderful mediator between us.
We both drove the ball pretty well all day, and on the holes where one of us didn't, the other one did. So again, on this par 5, we had a nice drive to work on. And then you put an approach on the green, right?
We knew we needed it, and I hit a 7-iron from like 185, and it was so good in the air. We didn't know how good it was going to be, but we had 25 feet probably for eagle.
Yeah. Yeah. Little bit of a curler right to left. Meanwhile, Josh and Gabe, they were like behind a tree with their drive, but both found the green. And then Josh hit like a 30-footer eagle putt down the slope.
Again. It was incredible. It was amazing.
Yeah. And they had come off a couple of bogeys, so that was huge for them. You missed a putt. It broke way more than either of us thought. And so then I gave the eagle putt a run and almost hit it, but just missed it. But we did get in for birdie. So that got us to 5 under with 3 holes left.
And it was a long-ish par 3.
Yep. That's right along the driveway there. We both found the front of the green. Mine was a little closer, but had more of a side slope on it. Yours was still going to move to the left, but it was a little more up the hill. So we opted for that one. We stood behind this putt. This was like a 50-foot putt, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
We stood behind it. We both knew it was going to move to the left. So we were trying to pick something in the horizon to use. We decided, I think, on like a tree or something that we were going to use. And I was behind you watching the whole time, and you started it way higher than what we agreed on. And
Are you trying to take away from my putt, Brian?
No, I'm saying like your instincts took over from like whatever we had decided. And turns out you started it on the exact right line, because this thing, some putts like this, they just look good the whole way. And you're like, yeah, I'm waiting for this putt not to look good, and it just never did.
It dropped in like a short putt, you know.
Yeah.
It was one of those. And so it's like 55 feet for birdie, and suddenly we're 6 under.
Incredible.
Like, oh, okay.
It is the Rumswinga series, and we are making an absolute rum.
That, you know what? It wasn't expert tree science. It was expert tree magic is what that was. It was great. It was a great moment. Maybe edit that out. I hated that.
So 2 holes left, 2 par 4s. 18's a little easier than 17. 17, we're going up the hill. We both hit bad drives. Mine was right. Yours was right of right, which ended up being the better option, playing out of the 18th fairway. Mm-hmm. And then I hit the better approach just to the back edge of the green. So we had like 40 feet, maybe. We did have a read, I believe, on this one off of their putt.
Yeah.
But couldn't hit the birdie putt. It was a pretty big ask. Actually left ourselves like 4 or 5 feet, I think, for the comebacker for par. But you made it to keep us at 6 under, going to 18. Was there already an 8 posted at this point?
No, there was a 7 posted at this point. So we knew that a birdie would get us tied for the lead in the clubhouse.
That's right. Yeah, again, another great drive to work with. I went first on the approach. I hit the green, albeit like 35 feet away, was a little short. Then you stepped up and, kind of like you were doing all day, hit this beautiful, slightly drawing iron shot, started on the right edge of the green, came into the middle, and I think it left us something between 15 to 20 feet for birdie.
Yeah. We needed it. We knew we needed it. And I said to you, I believe, I said, listen, I don't care about if we drop some spots because we 3-putt. Neither of us are leaving this putt short. We're getting this putt to the hole. We're giving this a chance to go in. The reward is greater than the risk. Give this putt a run.
And you did. You did give it a run.
Was that encouraging, or is that not encouraging?
It was encouraging. I needed to hear that.
Okay.
I also gave it a run. Did I leave it short?
I don't know. Neither of us.
I didn't think so.
I power lipped it. I hit on the high side. So if I'd hit it a tiny bit softer, it would have gone right in the heart. And then you just like settled it up maybe like 2 inches right. It was just like, it was a really good effort. You kind of could tell the whole way it wasn't going to go in, but it was a good effort. As
my dad would say, I gave it too much borrow.
Yeah.
I hit it too high. A little bit too high.
Very little bone meat left on it, though.
Yeah. It was a tap-in par. We finished at 64, 6 under, and that ended up being good for a T7 in the tournament out of 39 teams. The winners were at 60, 10 under. So there's a team at 10 under, team at 9 under, team at 8 under, 3 teams at 7 under. and we were T7. It was fun. That birdie run in the middle was fun.
Yeah.
I was happy we top 10'd. It got my juices going for more 2-man competitions for sure.
Yeah, we've got a lot coming, and it's good, Bryan. I mean, a T7 out of 39, there were a lot of good players there.
Yeah.
And so we were right there. We made some putts we shouldn't have made. We missed some putts we should have made. And listen, we lost it in the first 2 holes.
Speaking of playing great, 2 days later, you went and teed it up back at Golden Oaks, where you had shot an incredible 67 in the Winter Series 2-man. Is that a scramble also?
No, that was better ball. That was better ball.
Oh, yeah, that was better ball.
We did that, and then this was not really the same course in the sense that we were playing it from 1,200 yards longer this time. But at the same time, it was 7,200 yards. It did not feel that long. It felt perfectly reasonable. But I had a lot of good vibes out there, and I felt so good on the range and so good immediately. It was very exciting. Where it was like I've been off to these slow starts all year, and I tap in par on 1, tap in par on 2, barely missing the birdie on both of those. So thinking about, I could have gotten under par. And then, 3-putt bogey on 3, and then
parred 4, you parred 5.
So I was 1 over on 6. I hit a bad drive, a good recovery shot, good chip, and then missed a 3-footer for par. Really short. So suddenly I'm feeling like, oh man, is this about to spiral? That's a terrible thought. Unlike what I said at the scramble, is this about to spiral? That's a bad thought. That is not a helpful thought for anybody.
Even though it's a reality.
Yeah, well, no, because it's not a reality. Because you don't even know I don't need to process the reality of it spiraling because it hasn't happened yet. That's an anxiety.
Okay.
That's an anxiety is all that is.
Okay.
The reality is that we might have lost that tournament in the first 2. The anxiety is that, am I about to spiral? And so I had that thought. I hit a great drive on the next hole. I get up there, and it is in a horrible divot. Just really bad. Right up against the back lip of it. I'm like, I think I'm going to top this thing. I don't know what's going to happen. And so I just but I'm only 100 yards out, right in the perfect spot in the fairway. I hit way down, and it comes out way low, and it's cutting and spins, and it's 15 feet from the hole. It was one of the better shots I've hit in a long time. And then I made that putt for birdie to get back to 1 over.
1 over through 7. Love it.
Then 8 is a par 5, and I was right up around the green, hit a pretty good pitch shot to 20 feet because I was my second shot was not great, even though it was around the green. I had a tree trouble, so I had to kind of pitch left of it. So did exactly what I wanted to do, 20 feet for birdie, ran it 5 feet by, missed the comebacker, make bogey. I'm 2 over.
Okay. Then you go to 9, which is where we made was that our lone bogey?
Yeah, and that was my only bogey in my 67 in the round, and we both made bogey on that hole.
Yeah,
I missed the green right, chipped it up to 3 feet, made the putt for par.
You're 2 over. Now this is something where you got about 28, 25, 30 people from this field are going to qualify for. I
believe it was only 22 this time,
okay.
and I've followed these events. Yeah, 22 in ties, and so. But there were 110 people in the field. Mm-hmm. And now I have followed these. I've played in some of them. I've followed these tournaments for a long time. I have seen tournaments where 77, 78 gets into these events. They feel like yeah, you got to play well, but you're not thinking I got to go shoot under par like it's a U.S. Open qualifier or something, So,
and this is the Gap Amateur qualifier.
This is the Gap Amateur qualifier.
Okay.
So the Philadelphia Amateur. And so I'm 2 over at the turn, and I'm like, I'm a little disappointed because I felt like I could have been lower because I was playing well enough to be lower, but missing some short putts and all that. I'm going to the turn 2 over, and I'm thinking, honestly, probably if I do that again, if I shoot 2 over again, 76 is going to be probably the line. That's probably going to be the line. I hit a good drive on 10, and only really bad swing of the day, I dead chunked a wedge from like 110 yards. I was trying to like take a little off of it and just straight chunked it. It got like 3/4 of the way there. Almost got up and down, but did not. Made bogey.
Okay.
And so now I'm 3 over. So I hit a great drive. So this is the hole I eagled in our Winter Series event. I hit a great drive again, hit my 2-iron up just short right, had a pretty straightforward pitch and just didn't hit it hard enough, had like 15, 20 feet and left it dead in the heart. I mean, dead in the heart for birdie. So that was disappointing because that would have gotten me back to 2. And again, I'm thinking maybe safe. And I start to look and suddenly they throw up a projected cut line on the scorecard and the projected or on the scoring app. And it says even. And I'm like, like the one I played in last year, I didn't qualify, but I think the cut was 5 over. It was like 77 or something. Okay. And I've seen a lot that were like that. And so I'm like, even, like, I'm like, oh, that's going to change. That's going to change. I just need to keep fighting because I'm 3 over, but I think 76 might get me into this thing. Then I kind of I miss a fairly short putt again to make bogey on the next hole. So I make bogey there. I hit one long and left on a par 3, hit a pretty good pitch shot. Missed that for bogey, and suddenly I'm 5 over, and I'm like, this thing has gotten away from me a little bit, and I look, and suddenly the projected cut for a second goes to 1 under.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, what is happening? I'm thinking it should be going the other way, and then I'm still thinking it's going to come back, and then I noticed no, a bunch of people are finished. Like a bunch of people are finished. Like there were a lot of people in even or better. And so I suddenly realized at this point, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of out of this thing. And so I make some pars. Then I hit some great shots the rest of the way. I hit a great shot into a par 3. I hit a great shot into a par 4. I hit another great shot into a par 4. I had 10, 12 feet for birdie on 15, 16, 17. And just missed all of them, barely. And I'm like, the whole time I'm still thinking, I don't know if I can get back to 75, 76, who knows, missed them. So I'm sitting 5 over and I hit a wayward drive on 18, lose the ball and wind up making double on 18 to shoot 79. And it turned out, I think you have it in front of you. Was the cut even? Or was it 1 over?
The 1 overs made it.
1 overs made
73.
It. So 73. So I really, 75, 76 usually gets in. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh man, if I make 2 of those at 75, if I make 1 of them at 76, then I make double, and on 18, which is annoying to shoot 79, dropped me a lot of spots down the leaderboard, obviously. It felt a little better once I learned that +1 was the number because it would have taken a lot on that back 9 to get to 73, obviously. But I played really well for periods. I played my brand of good golf and felt for the majority of that event like I've got a chance. I felt like I had a chance to qualify till I lost my ball on the 18th hole. I was wrong. Yeah. But that's kind of the goal with some of these things is to qualify. But so many of these things I've gotten off to slow starts and had it be by the turn, I'm not even thinking about qualifying anymore. I'm just thinking about putting up a respectable score. And it's no, at the turn, I was fully thinking about qualifying. And on 15, 16, 17, I'm burning edges on putts that I think are going to maybe get me in. Yeah. And So 79 felt a little bit not representative of how close I felt on that whole round, and how if I'd made some short putts, even with not with the double on 18, but until through 17, I was like, yeah, I'm a couple putts away here from being right where I need to be.
Yeah, well done on the 79. So that brings us to the most recent golf we played just this past weekend. Before we teed it up together on Saturday, you got a package in the mail.
Yeah. I got T100, some 2021 used T100s. So I have upgraded the irons, Brian. I have upgraded the irons. So I had shot, the last time we played at Honeybrook, I shot a 69. I rallied on the back after being 4 over at one point. I was 4 over and then rallied to shoot 1 under. So that was exciting.
Yeah, made a 45-foot bomb on the 18th hole.
On 18th to shoot 1 under. With a guy, the fourth in our group was sort of mocking the whole time. I don't know how to say it. He seemed unhappy when I made the putt. I don't know how to say it.
I was standing next to him when you hit the putt, and he said under his breath, loud enough for me to hear, he said, 3 putts central.
3 putts central. And then it went in.
And then it went in.
I did hit it too hard. I was going for it. So coming off the 69, so I'm feeling pretty good. We're playing Saturday, but I'm a little unsure of these clubs. I have not had them bent. It really helps me to have my clubs bent flat, as we've discussed ad nauseum. Way more than anyone could possibly care to know about the bent of my clubs. So I'm unsure what's going to happen, but I'm hitting them really well on the range. I'm immediately saying to you, like, hey, little embarrassing. These are way easier to hit than the irons I've been hitting.
Yeah.
Like, I might just be a better golfer now. There's a chance I'm just better.
Yeah.
Just immediately because of this. And so we went out and I parred the first few. I birdied 5 to go to 1 under. I then missed a short putt on 7 to go back to even. And then, so we make the turn. I bogey 10 to go to 1 over. Rachel decides she's going to come and walk a few holes with us, which is how lovely. How lovely.
Yeah.
And so Rachel shows up. I hit my drive on 11. I hit a really good drive on 11. Yeah. And Rachel crests the hill. She starts walking with us. I chip it to it's not a chip quite, but it was like 60 yards. And I hit like a 60-yard pitch shot up to like 5 feet. I make the birdie putt. I'm like, oh, okay, look at that.
And if you want to see footage of that chip shot, one of the more recent social media videos I did were the Bag Chatter Courtroom Edition. I believe it's when I say, objection, Your Honor, leading the witness in strokes gained approach. That is the chip right there.
That's right. And at least 26 people have liked that post. So it's like, so it's good. No, I that had me laughing the whole day. I enjoyed it the whole day. So I made birdie on 11. I hit a great drive with the benefit of 2 cart path bounces down to like 170 yards on a par 5. Pulled the second shot left, chipped up, made the putt for birdie. Look at that. Look at that, Brian.
Look at it.
We're suddenly 1 under par. That's great. We go to the par 3, your hole in 1 hole. I hit a good 9 iron, probably 20 feet left of the pin. It's like a pretty hard breaker left to right, running away from me. I just pour that in the heart. It's a birdie. Like why not? I don't see why we wouldn't. We go to Amish Corner. I hit a good drive left of the green, but I'm chipping on. I do not hit a great chip. I run it like 15, 18 feet past. It's a right to left putt. We make that. That's 4 birdies in a row, Brian.
4 birdies in a row. And if you want to see that putt at the very end of the video, when I say case closed,
that's right.
That's the putt.
So then we get to our least favorite tee shot on the course, and I'm suddenly, 3 under par.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening here? I don't know what's happening here, but we've made 4 birdies in a row to get to 3 under par. And you gave me a little pep talk. You were like, hey, we're not guarding against anything. Do what you should do, kind of thing. So I pulled driver. I hit a good driver. I hit a great 2-iron right up to the front of the green. Not a great chip shot. I left it like, I don't know, 18 feet short. I called you in for a read. We discussed it quite a bit. It went right in the heart. Just right in the heart. 5 birdies in a row. I'm suddenly 4 under par. I hit a good shot on 16, hit a great approach shot to 5-6 feet.
Yeah.
That putt, never close. It was not even close.
It was a tricky part of that 16th green, or the pin isn't usually. We were both fooled by that.
I had it just off the right edge, and it moved a ball to the right.
Yes.
And it was like, it just never even, the second I hit it, it was so clear I was not getting my 6th birdie in a row. So now I'm 4 under. So I've been saying 66 in my body. I need 2 pars to shoot 66, right? And I'm coming off a 5 under in 6-hole stretch. So I'm feeling pretty confident about 2 pars. I hit a horrible pitching wedge into the par 3 17th.
Yeah.
It was a little heely. It was not a shank, but it was heely.
Yeah.
Way short and right. I actually hit a pretty good pitch shot and then missed the putt. I go back to 3 under. I hit my drive. I'd been driving the ball great all day, and I lost it right on 18. And normally that is fine. I was in a bad spot under a tree. I had to punch it out under the tree. I got it just up short of the green. I had maybe 5 yards of fairway to contend with. And normally I chip that. And for some reason, I'd been putting pretty well, especially from long distance. I was just like, I'm just going to run this putt up there, tap in for 67. And I hit it, and the fairway caught it, and it got like 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah.
And I was very frustrated that I didn't chip that ball. I had a putt for par and 67, and it burned the edge on the high side. And so I went bogey to shoot 68. So highs and lows in that round, Brian. 5 birdies in a row to get to 4 under, bogey 17, 18 to argue with the notion that there is a 66 in my body.
Yeah, I actually went back and I took a video of that 3rd shot on 18, and because I thought if this goes in, this is going to be epic.
Right.
And I didn't realize in the moment that you would hit putter. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, why did he do that? Why did that happen? I don't know. So I mean, obviously I'm not going to, I shot 69, 68 in back-to-back rounds at Honeybrook. I cannot complain about that. You shot 71?
I did. I did. I had my best round of the year. I birdied the first hole. And as you do, you let our playing partners know that that's all I do.
Yeah. If you ever birdie the first hole, I just tell you, hey guys, just so you know, Brian only makes birdies. That's what he does. That's his game.
Yeah. Made a few pars. Then on the 5th hole after a great drive, just a disgusting, sloppy baby wedge that I dumped into the pond, made double. But then I come back and hit a dart into 6 to like 2 feet to make a birdie. And then on 7, I give it right back with a terrible 4-iron off the tee and didn't take my medicine and play down to the end of the fairway. Instead, tried to hit a nice 5-iron. Did not hit a nice 5-iron. Long story short, make double there. I take the turn at 2 over. And then while you're on your birdie fest, I'm just making a bunch of pars, kind of plodding along. I get to the 14th hole. I'm like, you know what? When I shot even par last year, I was 3 over standing on this 14th tee box. Right now, I'm 2 over. So why not do the same thing? Hit a safe drive to the left, an okay pitch shot to like 30 feet and make the birdie putt. So suddenly I am 1 over. And then I did what I said I wasn't going to do in a previous episode. I said if the tees are a little bit up on 15, I can't hit driver because I really have to cut the ball precisely or it's going to be too long. But I hit driver anyway, didn't really have a cut on it, and it just trickled into the woods. So it's red staked. I dropped, and from there actually made a par, included like a really good 9-iron to like 2 feet. but it's like it sucks dropping a shot when all of your shots on the hole were good.
Yeah.
But it was like more of a strategy thing. So I made par to actually stay at 1 over, but then I pulled my approach into 16. I tried to putt through like 6 inches of rough and predictably left it like 7 feet short. And then I had a putt from the opposite side of your attempt for your 6th birdie. I was coming from the other side and also was fooled, and it broke the wrong way. Made bogey there, but parred 17 and then hit a real good approach in 18 and made like a 12-footer for birdie to shoot 1 over. 71, my best round of the year. So that was a good day for both of us. That was probably the best day combined we've ever had.
Definitely 139 combined. I will take it. I will take it. And what do we shoot better ball that day? Was that 9 under? Was that what you said?
Yeah.
So we shot a 61 better ball. That would have done well in some competitions.
Heck yeah.
Not going to lie.
So that's exciting. And come Sunday night, I was still basking in the great round that I had. Mm-hmm. But you are not, Adam. And we need to finish this episode, unfortunately, on this, because I don't know. Yeah. 24 hours after that, I don't know where your head's at, but I was getting some texts from you that were not great.
So I go out after shooting 69, 68. It's a little club event, and I'm feeling good. I'm still, obviously the new irons are there. I'm not feeling quite like I'm just going to go shoot in the 60s today again. I'm not feeling that, but I'm feeling like, okay, my game's in a good place. We've been trending the right direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately... So I pull my drive. It looks like into the pond, which it's just happened a shocking amount over the last 365 days. It just should never happen. And so it's in that, the kind of like the long grass that's over there that's dry. It's kind of muddy.
Yeah.
I find my ball. And it's pretty hittable, it looks like. I'm like, okay, I can get in here and hit this. It's a good break. I've got to stand wedge in, right? There is like a little tuft of grass in front of me. I'm like, this is a great break. I hit it, and shockingly to me, it hits the tuft of grass and goes 6 feet backwards.
Oh.
And is like basically in the water, but like still sort of hittable. Like it's sitting in some water, but now I'm lying 3 on 1, basically in the pond.
Oh no!
And I decide to hit it. I flare it way right, like kind of over the hill. Can't get that up and down and make double on 1. So after 5 birdies in a row the day before, I'm just immediately just behind the 8 ball. I was just like fighting the whole time. I hit a good drive on 2 with a 2-iron. I hit what I thought was a beautiful gap wedge, like to a back left pin. It takes 1 hop at the pin and just shoots into the back bunker. Can't get it up and down from there. Bogey. I pull really badly my shot on 3 and almost get it up and down, but make bogey. I hit a good drive on 4 and I hit a good second shot. I hit a decent third shot, 3-putt bogey. I bogey 5. I bogey 6. I bogey 7.
Oh.
I triple 8.
Oh.
I pulled it way left on 8, a par 3. Hits the cart path, bounces into a bunch of weeds. I hack it out. It goes 10 feet. I hit a shot up, kind of back over the green, 2-putt 6. I believe that added up correctly, but it was a triple. It was a triple. I bogey 9. So I shot 47 on the front 9. It was a double, a triple, and 7 bogeys. I did, from the white tees at Honeybrook, did not make a single par. That's impossible. That's not even conceivable.
Wow.
So we go to 10. I hit it in the bunker. I don't get up and down. Bogey. I bogey 11. So we're now 11 holes in. I am 14 over par and have not made a par. I hit a great drive. I it got up like pin high right. I chip it up to like 4 feet. I have a 4-footer for a birdie, and I missed the 4-footer. So my first par is a missed 4-foot birdie putt. There's not much to say about the rest of this round. I mean, I think I shot 5 over on the back. I made some pars at least. I shot 87. 87.
Your kids are still upset about it. I can hear them.
Yeah.
They're still bummed out.
Yep, they were angry. It was just impossible. So I mean, it was just sort of like, so obviously 5 birdies in a row the day before is statistically improbable. This felt equally or more statistically improbable, where it was just like everything that could go wrong went wrong. It's so hard. I think
Yeah.
I did not make a single putt all day. And there were some bad putts, don't get me wrong. There were a lot where it's like, oh, that could have dropped, that could have dropped, that could have dropped, that could have dropped. If I missed the fairway, there's not a lot of trees at Honeybrook. How often do we find ourselves punching through trees at Honeybrook? I did it 5 times yesterday. It was just like, if something could go wrong, it was like golf saying, hey, if you think you've figured anything out because you shot in the 60s twice in a row, think again, because you can shoot 87 from the whites at Honeybrook. And it was, I don't even know. The volatility of my game right now is just shocking.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do with it, where it's like, I think I said to you yesterday, I'm like right now, I feel like I am a +3 or a 12 handicap with no in between. I'm just not putting up a lot of like 72s. It's like I've shot in the 60s 4 times this year. That my previous record for a year was 2. So I've doubled. It's June. It's like, barely June.
Yeah.
And we're doubling my previous record for rounds in the 60s. So the ceiling is clearly there this year. I am playing some good golf when I play well. And then that round yesterday was the worst round I maybe have ever shot at Honeybrook. I don't think I've ever shot 87 at Honeybrook. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. So the fact that those things came back to back, 68, 87 is...
I know you had a 67. The 68 was probably a better round. It was just that you finished with 2 bogeys. But it does feel like your best and potentially best and probably worst rounds of the year happened within 24 hours.
Yeah. Just directly back to back.
I liked your tweet about it.
Yeah. Golf is hard.
I actually just got this shirt in the mail today.
That's funny. So you had ordered that well before I saw it.
This is a new Nike release. Like literally this week they came out with these on the back. On the back, I don't know if you like this as much, but this is
accept and embrace. Brian, why do you think I'm not an accept and embrace person? Why would you say that? You said I don't know if you like this as much.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Okay.
When I say we might have lost it on the first 2 holes, I need to say that to accept it and then embrace the challenge.
Gotcha.
That's what's happening.
So where do we go from here?
Forward, Brian.
Okay.
That's the only way to go. It's the way time works for us. It may be, some scientists say you could move backwards, but as we know it, we are time travelers moving forward through time. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the clubs bent. I was hard heel missing. I had one sort of shank yesterday, but with the new clubs, this club still felt pretty good. I had some really good shots with them, but I was hard heel missing some of them and hard left. Something I haven't done since I got my clubs bent. It's a miss that I remember, but and so I'm like, I need to go get the clubs bent this week. I've got a big tournament next weekend, 2-day event at Jeffersonville. I will have the clubs bent by them, and I feel confident. I'm not letting that. I am trying as much as possible to dismiss that as a statistical anomaly, where it's just like, I could have, if I had shot 80, I would have been annoyed. And I'm like, I should have shot 80. I should have shot 80. It would have been really easy for me to shoot 80. I haven't shot 87 there or anywhere in a long time. That's not going to happen again. And so I believe right now that the 69 and 68 are more reflective of where I am than the 87. And
Love that.
so I'm going with that, and I am believing it.
Love that. Love that. I'll probably play again, even though I'd love to take a little break here with a 71 being the last taste in my mouth. But I'll probably play again this week, but then I'm headed out of the country on a little anniversary trip. And so...
Where are you going again?
Italia.
So, there's a coaster. Oh, this is perfect. So we got a coaster here from Paris, Italy. That's
Look at this. We both have props.
The Arc de Triomphe in Italia.
I'm going to put that on our itinerary. I'm going to see if we can find that.
Get to the first person you see, ask them where the Arc de Triomphe is. They will love it.
They will absolutely love it. Next episode might be a solo venture.
Yeah. So I've got the Frank Wood Memorial Championship next weekend. Jeffersonville Golf Club. I have played it a couple times now, preparing for this tournament. It's a Donald Ross design. It is so much fun. I think we're playing an event there later this year. I think we're playing the Donald Ross Better Ball Championship there, which I believe is a 2-day event. I'm excited for you to see it. It was already a fun little course, but it was always a little run down. I think they got new ownership. They built a whole new clubhouse. It's a really nice little course. It's really fun. And so I'm really excited to spend next weekend there and hopefully play some good golf. You know, it's going to be fun. So you're going to be in Italy, and I'm going to try a little solo pod just to let people know how the Frank Wood goes.
I am going to be very excited to listen to that on my flight home.
Yeah, don't get too excited. It's not. I wouldn't get your hopes up, Brian. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, my hopes are up. My hopes are up for the golf and for the production quality of the podcast.
Yeah, I hope it's acceptable. If it's not, everyone just thank Brian for the quality of the podcast editing that you usually get. It'll increase gratitude for you, Brian.
I like that.
Was that encouraging enough?
Yes, it was.
Okay, just check it. I told you on our last Cold Cuts Hot Takes episode that you were a surprisingly good basketball player. And so I was encouraging there as well. And so listen, if this hour plus of us talking about golf hasn't been enough for you, go listen to me compliment Brian all the time on Cold Cuts Hot Takes. You can get your fill there.
Yeah. Patreon.com/bagchattergolf. Also make sure you check out the merch store at bagchatter.myshopify.com. Get your Rumswinga merch, get your Bag Chatter hat, and we will catch you here soon. Thanks so much for checking out the Bag Chatter podcast. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and you already know how to subscribe to podcasts, so I'm not going to waste your time. You can find us on all the socials at BagchatterGolf or Bryan Elaine Golf, and you can check out everything we have going on at bagchattergolf.com. If you want more content from me and Adam, check out the Bag Chatter Deli. That is our Patreon, where we only serve the choicest portions of 4-ball ham and the leanest cuts of bone meat. For $5 a month, you get to support the pod, and you get a weekly episode of our Friday supporter-only podcast, Cold Cuts Hot Takes. You can find that at patreon.com/bagchattergolf. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for listening.